The only record I have my eyes that I'm breaking, which it'd be new this year, going 20-0.
Okay.
It's not really a record to be broken, I guess you'd say, but I think 19-0 is the record right now. So being able to go 20-0, be the first one to do that, that'd be awesome.
20-0. Now, obviously, the
Depends
extra
if you're
game.
Old guy or zero guy.
Well, 20-0.
I'm a 0 guy.
20
It's not
0?
20-0. It's 20-0.
So you say your phone.
Well,
number,
I'll tell you
what. 0-0-0-0.
If they did it, it would be 20-0.
Oh.
Like,
wow.
Because obviously the extra week now, extra game, 17, plus the 3 playoff games it would take, including the Super Bowl, to get to that perfect season. What do you think,
exhausting.
Bart? What do you think of him putting it out there? That's the goal. That's what I want to get.
Well, he's chasing a GOAT, right? And the GOAT and Gronk believes that they can go 20-0 as well, right? So he's trying to keep up with the GOAT. I think, that shouldn't be the goal. The goal for any team I was on was just never to be undefeated. It was to get the end result, which is winning the championship. You hear, sometimes Rod Nikovic and some of those guys that were on those undefeated teams, with New England, talks about how exhausting it is, right? Because you put so much emotion and so much energy into it, and then when it comes down to it, you learn lessons by losing. But also, I think you can wear yourself out, and then when it counts the most, then you don't win the game. We saw that with the New England team, right? They lost in the Super Bowl. And listen, they were almost there. Outside of the Miami Dolphins, there's never been a team to do it. I mean, yeah, you want to win every game, but that shouldn't be my main priority. But I don't want that to be my main priority.
I just mean saying it, Jay. Saying it and letting everybody know, you think you're gonna run the table, like like just setting yourself up for
they feeling themselves. They had it. Listen,
that notion of, hey, well, I guess you didn't reach your goal. Like once you lose a game, well, you didn't reach your goal. How do you feel about it?
See, this is why athletes are afraid to be unfiltered. Like obviously you think that you want to go after that, but you can't say that publicly because now all of a sudden there's a target on your back. Now that you said that, let other people project that for you, but you can't say that. I'm for Pat Mahomes doing this. Go ahead.
I love it. In the world of sports, we'll get back to the NBA conversation certainly as well. But you heard this in SportsCenter, guys, and this is a big story in really the world of sports, but just in the world in general. And that's Naomi Osaka, who announced her withdrawal from the French Open, and she's number 2 ranked player. And this kind of came out of nowhere. Just put a lengthy Twitter post saying, quote, "The best thing for the tournament, the other players, and my well-being would be to withdraw." Now, why? Well, she was supposed to play second round today at the French Open, Roland Garros, but after her first round match on Sunday, she skipped the post-match media session, fined $15,000 for it. But she said she wasn't going to talk to the media, that she has issues with anxiety. We've seen it before with her at the podium. It has been a struggle for her to do that, despite her greatness on the court. It is something she has openly admitted she struggles with, dealing with attention, dealing with crowds, dealing with answering questions, and depression. So then you have all of the Grand Slams come together saying, oh, well, this is going to happen if you do this at ours and you do this at ours. And it's just amazing to think that would be the immediate response. Let's take first a listen to Serena Williams, who had this response to Osaka's move.
I feel like I wish I could give her a hug because I know what it's like. Like I said, I've been in those positions. We have different personalities and people are different. Not everyone is the same. I'm thick, other people are thin. So everyone is different and everyone handles things differently. So, you just have to let her handle it the way she wants to in the best way that she thinks she can. And that's the only thing I can say. I think she's doing the best that she can.
I mean, it's clear that she has been struggling for years with this. She has talked about it openly, and to not have, just the take, again, the reaction, the lack of awareness by the Grand Slam is maddening. Howard Bryant, ESPN senior columnist, was on SportsCenter yesterday. He talked about how the Grand Slams completely overreacted.
She's under an enormous amount of pressure. And for the reaction for the Grand Slam board to essentially say, not only are we going to fine you and we're going to sanction you for this tournament, but all 4 Grand Slams are going to gang up on you and essentially tell you that we're going to suspend you from all the tournaments if you don't comply. There's a massive, massive overreach on their part. You simply just can't muscle people like this. You can't do this and still say that you care about the athletes.
1,000% agree with Howard Bryan on this. You're living in the dark ages, tennis. It's 2021. Things are very different now. And for them to gang up on her like that publicly instead of reaching out to her privately and navigating and collaborating with her on it. I mean, think about the pressure that she's been under. All right, she's Black and Japanese. She stood up for Black Lives Matter on the tennis stage, which nobody wanted to address. Asian hate crimes, she stood up for that. She's dealt with that. And then also being a woman on top of it, she talks about all these things openly. You don't know how things affect people during the pandemic and things of that sort. So I just don't know why it would be, hey, all the Grand Slams are going to come together and make a statement about potentially like expelling her, essentially, if she chose this, instead of saying, hey, how do we find common ground together? How do we, welcome to 2021, let's find ways to make this situation better for you, and then build that narrative and go to the market.
I want the media to respond to this and say, you know what, she doesn't have to talk. This idea that you have to talk.
Yeah.
I've said this many times. I was a sports writer for a long time before I got into broadcasting. I never felt like you had to talk to me. If you were like, no, I don't want to talk today. All right.
Yeah.
All right, you don't want to talk today. I still saw the match. I know what I saw. Now I can't get your thoughts. I can get other people's thoughts. It's, am I missing your thoughts? Yeah, I'd like to have them, but there's no, the idea of a requirement that you must talk is insane. Yeah. Especially today with social media where, I don't feel like talking right after the match. I'll go on social media later, maybe I'll type something. I can think about what I want to say. If that's what you want to do, fine. Yeah. But these days are different now. To force someone to talk when they're clearly uncomfortable with it is ridiculous. That doesn't make sense. And now, of course, tennis and the French Open is going to miss one of their brightest stars, one of their biggest draws. So,
by the way, she made $55 million this year. Yeah. She's like, okay, you guys, let tennis be your priority.
I'm all set.
I'm going to focus on my priority.
The other thing to watch, I'm sorry, Jay, but the other thing to watch is how the sponsors react. Because, again, her not being at a major is a big deal to the sponsors. So keep an eye on that. They shouldn't react, but certainly keep an eye on that. All right, on to football. How about this? Patrick Mahomes, very interesting take when he was talking to the Bleacher Report about a record that he wants to break in 2021. And this is a record that is quite ambitious. Take a listen.
The only record I have my eyes set on breaking, which would be, it'd be new this year,